Ever get tired of VR headsets feeling like you're strapping a brick to your face? Well, it certainly seems most of the ones on the market over the years have been the case. They are heavy, sweaty, and honestly kind of a hassle. 20 minutes in and your forehead's sore, the straps are digging in, and you're painfully aware of this big plastic thing hanging off your head. Not exactly relaxing. Well, Goovis believes they have a great alternative to the normal VR experience. This is the Goovis Art Extended Reality Headset. Goovis calls this an open view extended reality headset, which basically means it's like carrying a tiny private cinema in your bag that you can hook up to almost anything, basically using it as an external screen. Traveling, gaming, or just want to share your screen on the train, this makes all of that way more easier and personalized. It is super light at only 110 grams, so it feels more like wearing a chunky pair of sunglasses than a full-on VR headset, but it still gives you that massive 110-inch virtual screen experience. The dual 1080p micro OLED displays and insanely high pixel density means everything looks rather sharp and cinematic when you actually have these on. Believe me, it's quite impressive. Because it's open view, you're not totally cutting off from the world. You can glance around if you need to, which is perfect for multitasking or just staying aware of your surroundings. So is this product truly worth that asking price? Well, let's first start by unboxing it. Now unboxing the Goovis Art, and it gives a really solid first impression. The packaging is clean and minimal, nothing over the top. Inside the headset sits perfectly in place. Depending which bundle you grab, you might see a few extra accessories tucked in too. The bundle I went with came with the D4 portable media player, the HC 2.0 HDMI to USB-C converter, and if you want a slight upgrade, you can get the zero pressure head strap. What I really like is just how simple it is out of the box. There's not tons of cables or 10-step setups, it's pretty much plug in and you're ready to go. Seriously, within about a minute, I was good to start using it. To be honest, that's pretty rare these days. Now, as mentioned earlier, at just 110 grams, this thing is crazy light. For comparison, most VR headsets weigh 4 or 5 times that. Something like the Quest 3 is around 500 grams. This just feels more like a very hefty pair of sunglasses, and you instantly notice the difference. Although this isn't a VR headset, it's something you could say is in its own subcategory. But the technology is very similar in every way. A VR headset is made to completely immerse you in a digital world by blocking out the real world, while these, an open view extended reality headset, allows you to see the real world while integrating digital elements on top of it. Now obviously that's not going to be for everyone, but I will say it has its benefits. Now this thing uses what Goovis calls a suspension design. So the screen sits in front of your eyes, almost like something out of a sci-fi movie, you could say. It doesn't clamp across your whole face, and honestly the difference in comfort is huge. Normally I get headaches pretty quickly when using VR, 10-15 minutes or so, and I'm done. With this thing I sat through a full film, 3 hours straight. And to be honest, I wasn't feeling like tearing it off. You don't get those pressure marks or sore nose, just a really light, relaxed experience. And that's really where this thing's extended reality experience is more beneficial in my opinion. I will say the build quality of the unit feels solid too. There's no creaks and no flimsy hinges. The arms actually fold down rather neatly, making it genuinely feel very portable. Comfort-wise, the adjustable forehead pad spreads the weight nicely, and the optional zero pressure head strap makes it even easier. With that on, you almost forget you're wearing it. The vision adjustments are a nice touch too. It goes from 0 to minus 3.5D, so short-sighted folks can tweak it without glasses. And if your prescription is outside that range, there's still enough space to wear them comfortably. Add in IPD adjustment from 58 to 74mm and it suits most people. It really doesn't take much effort to find that sweet spot, but as I said, if needed, you can still comfortably wear glasses underneath without any issues. Now, in terms of ports and connectivity, this is one of those areas where a lot of VR kits tend to overcomplicate things. Drivers, apps, firmware updates, the list really goes on. But the Goovis art keeps it simple, plug and play really. If your device has a USB-C with video out, like a MacBook, Android phone, or even the new iPhones, you can just plug it in, and it instantly works. It detects it as an external display, and in turn, creates this virtual reality look as a floating screen. I've tried it on both my laptop and phone, and to be honest, it worked instantly. Using it with my laptop was surprisingly handy. I could watch Netflix or YouTube videos without hogging my main monitor. And it's great for travel when I don't want to carry a second screen. I've even tried some work stuff like editing photos, going through spreadsheets, and the screen was sharp enough that I didn't feel like I was missing anything. It's definitely a strange experience at first, having this floating display on top of reality, as it takes some time to certainly get used to it. But once you do, the multitasking possibilities are really exciting. You can keep an eye on a video while jotting down notes, compare images side by side without switching windows, or even monitor messages while working on a spreadsheet. It's like having a second screen that blends in with reality, without actually taking up any space at all. For anyone who juggles a few things at once, it really changes the way you think about working or just consuming content. If you have a very limited amount of space within your workspace, these could come in very handy. Using this with a phone is by far the most convenient option. You can just kick back on a sofa or on the train and instantly have this massive private cinema experience. The floating screen effect is really easy on the eyes too, so even after a long session, I didn't get that usual strain you get from staring at a tiny display. For HDMI devices like an Xbox, PlayStation, Blu-ray player, or even a camera, that's where the HC 2.0 adapter from the bundle comes in. HDMI goes into your console, USB-C goes to the headset, and you even get pass-through charging, so your device doesn't die mid-session. Between that and the D4 media player, you've got plenty of ways to hook this thing up. I've tried it with my Xbox Series S first, and honestly, it's different. The moment you put it on, the visuals hit you. They are super crisp, immersive, and bright. It really feels like you've got a private, massive screen just floating in front of your eyes. Now, obviously, for competitive gaming, there's something worth keeping in mind. The Goovis art is only rocking a 1920 by 1080p resolution with a 60Hz refresh rate. Now, that's obviously fine for movies, casual gaming, or most media, but if you're used to ultra high refresh rates, think 144 or a 240Hz monitor, you will notice a big difference. Now, it's not a deal breaker by any means, and for most people it really won't matter, but if you're chasing every millisecond of input for competitive play, just be aware it's not designed to replace a dedicated gaming monitor in that scenario. Now, Goovis quotes a pixel density of over 4,496 ppi. Now, obviously you can't actually count that by eye, but in practice it means the pixels basically disappear. You're left with a rather crisp cinematic picture that feels way more bigger than the numbers suggest. Colors are vibrant but still natural, with over 110% sRGB coverage, so nothing looks washed out or cartoonish. Personally, I see it being amazing for creative multitaskers who want to layer a bit of extended reality into their workflow. You can plug it into a variety of devices, set up a floating screen for work or entertainment, and suddenly you've got a whole new way to get things done. It's not just fun, it can actually boost productivity and give you more flexibility than a standard monitor. So is the Goovis art worth the price? Well, for me, absolutely. It's more than just a VR extended reality headset. It is certainly a glimpse at the next generation of how we interact with screens. As always, be sure to check this product out in the link in the description. Let me know what you think. Till next time.